Another beautiful day here in California and another beautiful day for the world of Counter-Strike. We are going to bring you all the action today. 8 maps of fun from ECS Season 6. There's going to be all the world's best teams competing, trying to make their way to the finals happening in Arlington, Texas. My name is Henry G, and I'm joined by James Bardolph and, at least for now, DDK. How are you doing?
What are you doing here, actually? I thought you weren't.
I thought he wasn't here.
I thought you were flying to London today.
Well, flying at 8 it's an 8 p.m. flight, so.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Thanks,
we get you half
for
the
telling
day.
us.
No, I did. I'm pretty sure I did.
I think so. You're going to stay for European.
Yeah.
The best part, and then you're going to leave.
Exactly.
North America.
Guys North
All right.
America.
Fair enough.
With the big action, the high octane.
Yeah,
the high
we'll handle the hype then.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Dan, seeing as you're only here for half a day, let's make you work. What's going to happen in the social media world? How can they get involved?
All right. So first of all, I've been dealing with misinformation this entire time.
Yes,
and the hashtag was apparently, and you
That's
just
the
told
problem.
yesterday,
Yes.
it's hashtag ECS6. So thanks for that information.
Well, what
related
hashtag
to
were you
yesterday.
using? S6?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Either way.
There we
so
go.
You can use that
Make
to
your own hashtag date.
you can use that to join in the discussion with us. It's not a good start, is it, Henry?
No, not the best.
It's not a
It's
good start
early,
this
it's fine.
morning. Yeah. Or you can
Can we change the flight?
screw Twitter.
Bring it forward.
Just go to csgoleague.com and you can find all the information about the league and the standings and also tickets.
Oh, nice. Segue. James, take it away.
Okay, I'm stuck between two hosts. We are going to Arlington, Texas. That's where the finals are going to be. 22nd, 25th of November. Deep breath for the asthma. Okay. Yes, it's going to be very interesting. Esports Stadium. It's a brand new thing. I think. Is it the first dedicated, built for purpose?
No, there's
Esports
one
Stadium.
Stadium maybe
in the West. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something was in
It's
like
like
South
Esports
Korea.
Arena in like Vegas, but that's like.
Oh yeah,
not
but that's
same
just a
thing.
chain. Yeah, that's just like a common LAN thing. But this is a esports stadium, so it will be very interesting indeed. Texas, plenty of beef over there. So get down there.
Absolutely, I agree. And also, you can win all sorts of things with FACEIT points. I'm sure you're aware by now you can get skins, cars, chairs, keyboards, headsets, all of it. But to get involved, to be eligible for the drops we give out throughout this broadcast, you have to hit the Get Loot button. You're going to hook up your FACEIT account to the YouTube broadcast, sit back and relax, watch us, and every half an hour or so, we'll give away a boatload of points. We've already given away over 4 million points so far. I've been saying that for now for like 3 days, so we must be encroaching on 5 million, I'd imagine. But make sure you do it, get involved, and you can get some cool prizes and points. So there we go. There's all the admin out the way. Shall we have a look at the teams that are going to be participating in the European division and how they're standing right now? Let's have a look and see how they're doing. Astralis still haven't been touched at the very tippity top. 8-0, as you would expect, the #1 team in the world right now. Surprisingly, Mousesport's actually looking much better with Sticko. It seems like that's really coming together quite nicely. They seem fired up. Oscar ready and looking better than ever, I'd say. In the North, Creetian #3. I just want to ask you guys, what we see right now is I don't think will be the final 4 for the playoffs. Who do you think will sneak in from the bottom? Do you think Fnatic have a chance, for example?
I'm looking at Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Okay.
I think they've had a bad start, but they've got 10 games to play, so there's room for recovery. I think North are a good surprise.
Sure.
Because in previous seasons, they've been in the bottom half and they've been struggling and always underperforming. Obviously, Optic are doing well as well, so I think we could have a mix of North, Optic, FaZe, and NIP. I think any of those 4 could make it into the top 4. LDLC could be surprised. It's still early for them.
Yeah.
Fnatic, not sure. I mean, they've only played 6 games, so for me, I don't know where they will stand yet.
They didn't look fantastic yesterday, but they did get a win, so fair play. Let's look who will be playing today, and I think we've got some Danish dynamite in store for you. Indeed, we do. North versus Optic. That's going to be such an epic battle. 2 Danish teams, no love lost between the 2 of them. Very incestual scene, the Danish team. All of these players have played with each other at one point over history, so that's going to be epic. Train and Inferno as well. Both teams very well versed in those maps. I would slightly edge North, but we'll get into that a little bit after. And then we get more of Optic. Fnatic as well. These are actually great matchups in terms of what we want to see from these developing teams. Every single one of these teams right now, on paper, has got a new member to the squad, and they're trying to develop and show who is the best right now. So let's jump into North versus Optic, and maybe specifically North right now. We've talked about Cadian a lot. Dan, he was a young player for so long that never really made it. He went over to North America to play for Rogue, and maybe that was his swan song. He finally showed he could play part of a lower tier team and bring them up to a decent level and got them to a major. Do you feel like now in North he can truly realize the potential in his career? Is this as good as this ever going to get? Can he do this?
I think so in many respects, because a lot of things have been taking quite a while to all come together at once for Cadian, because everybody, they sort of mature at different speeds when it comes to, their quality as a player. And if we, think back to, like four years ago, he was doing analyst tests and so on when he's like 18 and so on and so forth, clearly showing that he had a great understanding for the game, and obviously had a lot of skill, but the maturity wasn't quite there. He didn't quite, mesh with the teams very well, which is why he sort of became exiled and had to work his way back into it. And so it's really cool right now to see that the understanding's coming together with sort of, the ability to be an integral part of the team from like a chemistry and like social intelligence perspective, and individually is also playing lights out. So all those things are coming together for Cadian right now. So it's a very exciting time for him.
James, just to touch on MSL and this team, quite disappointing overall, I would say. They got a couple of trophies under their belt, but it was always so inconsistent. It felt like they'd have one great event, then would drop off completely, right? Do you feel like them removing MSL is going to make them more consistent and bring new ideas? As everyone celebrates MSL as this great master of the game, on the theory side at least.
Yeah, I think it's true that I think he is a very talented man. The problem is, I think it's just that sometimes the furniture needs to change.
Yeah, sure.
He's been there for so long, and they just haven't had the necessary success. So even though removing him may bring new zest to the team, it's kind of weird in that it doesn't mean that he is like bad.
Yeah, sure.
But maybe he just needs different pastures. They just need different leadership. So they become a different team, because being the same, and even though they'll change things here and there, they've never found that consistency.
I think that's fair enough. I feel like he's been there for so long and his system hasn't really developed, and the team were getting quite stagnant. Sure, they had one amazing event where MSL got the MVP. He changed the AWP up, but I don't think that was sustainable. That was one of those anomalies we have in CSGO where people weren't expecting that drastic change when they played against MSL. They weren't really sure how to handle it. I don't think that would have been sustainable for months and months, and it would have been super successful. And I feel like that deal had already been kind of agreed on before that big success with their championship trophy this year. But let's move on to Optic, another Danish team that have just changed players as well. What do you make of this team so far, Dan? They've got lots of firepower, but it seems up and down and quite turbulent right now. We have got the best names you could think of in terms of a recipe. You've got Yugi, Cajun B, Snappy, another celebrated in-game leader, but still, it's not quite as and it's not quite as exciting as we would, as maybe you think of.
Yeah, it's interesting. You wonder how much time is required for them, and whether to find out, okay, this is just not working as a system. But I mean, it's difficult to say as well, because they're actually having some good results, and they have a structure, they have a game plan. Everyone seems on the same page. It's kind of coming together. Where the skill ceiling is for that is hard to say right now. But so far, they've been quite promising. I feel like if we're going to see that then break through their current ceiling, it's going to be in the next month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
And these matches today, they're 5-5, I think. So these are super make or break. And interestingly, I think it was Valde that said not so long ago, it's like the Danish derby is a super important matchup because they established the pecking order. So people are trying incredibly hard because that's so important culturally in the Danish Counter-Strike scene.
James, in your experience on casting a lot of Danish Counter-Strike, do you feel like these particular derbies, we normally talk about derbies like North American and like Swedish derby and stuff, I think the Danish ones are always extra spicy. You can never predict the result. Even when Astralis are playing against a Danish team, it just looks a little bit odd, the CS. Like something changes. Can you quite put your finger on what it is?
I think that used to be the case, I think like maybe 3 years ago with the Swedish scene. That was the one you would look at for the Swedish derbies. It was always about kind of people knowing each other very well and unique situations playing out. But I think that the Denmark has moved to the Nordic powerhouse of Counter-Strike for the time being. So I feel like that has shifted towards there as well. You've got the stronger teams in Denmark at the moment. So I think it's part of that same flavor in general, just the national derbies where it's just a little different, because especially when you're recycling players for all these different teams, they know each other's tendencies and so on. So you'll see particular plays that you wouldn't see with two generic teams.
And I think it's something in the back of your head as well. When you're a player that maybe played for this team and it didn't end quite as well, you want to prove that they're like an ex-girlfriend, right? Like, I'm better off without you guys. Look how well I'm playing now. You want to take more risks, especially in online games. You want to show you're the superstar. They should have kept on to you. And I think that's so true with Danish CS because it's so ancestral that you'll see the teams change up a roster every couple of months or so. They'll swap players out. They're very... They love the fact they have 5 Danes in their team. It's quite rare to see Danes play outside the Danish system, right? That's what we saw Cadian in North America. That was quite odd, right? It was quite strange, and he came back to Denmark. It's only Carrigan now that was removed from Astralis and still plays internationally in terms of the big Danish in-game leaders. I think it's such a fascinating prospect. Whenever we get these Danish lineups, it's going to be a great game. Either way, let's get into this specific matchup. It's going to be trained to kick things off. I know both of these teams can play this map, especially the AWPers on each squad. Cadian, we've seen him play amazingly well on this one. Yugi, for me, that has not been the most exciting assets of Optic recently. Like, on paper, for me, he should be the one who's talking about the most. He's so exciting, so important and influential in their big rounds. But we haven't really seen it in the last couple of months. Like, what have you thought of his performances in ECS so far?
Yeah, it's a bit touch and go, isn't it?
Yeah.
So far, not quite the consistency you'd want to see, and that is a defining feature of any top team, is that AWPer and what they are able to accomplish. So you do want to see him come back in, because we've seen great performances from, like, Config's doing what he's supposed to do, which is awesome, because that Config is sort of, you know, historically consistency has been the issue there, but he's been pretty consistent, I would say, so far. Cajun B, you know, he's also been consistently doing very well on the rifles, and like found his identity and his footing much more than I think I've seen in a very long time for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Cajun B, historically not the biggest fragger, always kind of like a support rifler, but recently playing career-best CS. In terms of online form, it's difficult to really make that statement unless we see it on LAN, right, at big tournaments. But right now, at least, he's top fragging consistently, and that's something you necessarily wouldn't expect, right? He's not considered to be that big name within the team. Is that a good thing that he's fragging so hard, or do you want one of the other names to be at the very top?
I think it is, because I think that sometimes people can be saddled by the role that they're playing in a team. Obviously, he was put on the AWP for a very long time, and that wasn't so successful. As a rifler, I'm sorry, he was looking forward to rifling. I remember he was quite vocal about that, and to see him shine like that has been really great, because we're seeing a side to him that we couldn't necessarily see even if you had it in him before.
Sure.
So we don't know because of the role he was playing. So I think that's good, because it's not like he's been playing the same role and he's been a support or something, and he's doing the heavy lifting when he's supposed to be like going in first, dying, taking the crosshairs away and stuff like that. So I think he's having some lights out performances. That's undeniable, and I think that it's absolutely a good thing.
I know it's going to be a difficult question to answer, but who have you got? You've got Astralis as the #1 team in Denmark right now. Who's got #2?
It has to be North.
Has to be North?
Even though they've had the lineup changes, they're still sort of gunning for North personally.
Yeah.
Optic, that's the thing, isn't it? Optic are in the prime position to take that right now. Like,
that's the main battle for them, I think, right now. Who's going to be just beneath Astralis, right? I don't know who to pick. I feel like, for me, Optic should be doing better than they are. Sure, they've had some good results, but it seems so up and down for them. But I really like the playstyle of North as well. I think it's really methodical. I think Cadian brings an extra added zest to the unit. Like, he feels like it's a bit more flashy than MSL ever was with the AWP. And I think that's going to be an exciting battle. I think this would be a great game in general. This could be an absolute barn burner of a match. We're going to have plenty of Optic today, so I guess we should probe into them a little bit more. Let's consider some of the other members of the squad, the younger players, for example. They've got an academy player, a rookie season. That's going to be Gade, right? Someone who hasn't been part of the Counter-Strike culture for the last 5 years, like all the other names on the server right now. He came through the academy system, meaning he hasn't got tons of experience, but he seems to be holding his own, and we're seeing younger players break through every year now. 2018 has been sensational. Now, he's not a superstar player, but he seems like he's playing years above his experience. Have you guys noticed anything special about him? I know you're kind of a fan, Dan. Do you like what Gade's bringing to the table?
I think what's cool right now with Gade is that it seems as though he's been sort of put in the right spot for his experience. You know, we're seeing him just be sort of a simple sort of rifler and just anchoring certain positions, nothing too complex. And that's really, I think, really important, because, you know, he's being set up to succeed right now. And I think it also gives him the opportunity to develop himself and gives him the space to develop as a player. Because he has a lot of flexibility within the inherent role. So I think they've managed it quite well, because he doesn't really stick out in any sense. And when push comes to shove, he's very, like, mechanically, he's very good. So looks very promising. So from the little that we've seen.
Well, we are waiting for the game to start, and it looks like North are just connecting now. Do you want to keep going with the serious analysis stuff, or do you want to? We're kind of running out of steam now.
I want to say that, like, looking at the previous seasons, you mentioned Yugi before. I mean, I've seen him be a lot more effective, and I don't know if it was because it was weaker opposition, or what the case is. So I think he needs to prove himself this season and show that he can be as effective with all these different players on the server.
I think on his day, he can potentially be one of the best AWPers in that region, maybe even Europe. Like, we've seen so many amazing things from him, but it's just recently I haven't been that inspired. I keep picking him up for these matchups, and I don't see much from him. It looks like he's not finding correct form right now, but it's difficult to really gauge that much. I want to see big LAN performances from Optic, and I'm sure with the upcoming season, we're going to see a lot of that. I want to see them get to ECS finals as well. I think that would be really cool for them. The players are just connecting now. We're going to have a knife round, which we can get into.
I think one question is, if MSL is to be released from the team, what options are there for him?
That's a good question. I feel like there's plenty of teams like will be happy to pick him up, but it's just working out which one. In-game leaders are probably the most valuable players right now in terms of influential or being influential on a team. So I'm not really sure. Maybe like it's difficult to work out, isn't it?
Uh,
What about coaching work for FaZe? Because the funny thing is, there was the long period of time where his play came under fire.
Yes.
And then he started playing much, much better. But I think in the short term, at the very least, there's probably money to be made in looking at FaZe and kind of putting a bit more structure in there.
They've got Roban, right? And he's been part of the team for so long. That would be stepping on his toes, surely.
But I think he had, didn't he have a kid recently or something like that?
Yes, he did.
He has less
he
time.
probably has less time. He's got multiple kids as well.
He can't go to the events as much and so on. I think because I think they were considering Yanko for a while.
They were. I think that was up for debate. Yeah.
Yeah, and that, just for whatever reason it didn't work out. But we're into the pistol round. Optic on the CT side, looking to start things off well, and they'll be up against a Pop Dog Rush coming in from North, waiting out the smoke grenades to cover their path, and flashbangs will assist as well. Optic on the bomb train, looking over the smoke, trying to see what he can see, but not too much so far. Here's a lot though. He'll work his way around, but he'll get caught by AZ.
Here we go then, looking very good for the North boys as the bomb gets planted. It's Cajun B. Oh, missing the easy shots there. Oh, hits the most difficult one of them all. Excellent work to take down Valder, but unfortunately will not translate to a round victory, I'm afraid. Nico with no kit, bomb to defuse, so many kills to find. It's such a notoriously difficult site to retake and defuse the bomb. This is nigh on impossible, and Gade will finish it off with a P250. Nice fast approach there from North, getting the bomb down quickly, and we'll have the 1-0. Optic, as the new method dictates, we'll take an eco here. It's not one of those maps like Inferno where you can think, oh, we get some CZ and smokes here, we can hold them off. It really doesn't play like that. It doesn't lend itself to close-range battles. It's one of the most long-range encounters you can possibly have in Counter-Strike, really, playing Train. 4 HEs, though, Dan. Where would those be going? Main engines, I'd assume.
Yeah, looks like it.
It works. Lovely.
Yeah, that's nice. It's so good to actually get a return from those HEs.
Very rarely you actually see a frag there in such a situation. AZ holding the long angles, although everyone has the long guns, really. No short range weapons at this point. Tongue-tied today. Not a good start in the first game. Well, Kirby's moving forward. Yugi's on the spools with a USP. Can he get the second dink in? That's like, especially on a map like Train, the value in the USP over the P2000 for me. You dink someone, and there's a second while they're trying to figure out where the hell they got shot from, while you can get the second dink in. Well, Cajun B can make some money, at least, for all of his teammates dying on the B-bomb site. I love the X's on the minimap, honestly. That's so awesome to see. Because you can talk more about choke points and things like that as well. He's just trying to bait someone to die with him at the very least.
That's a nice idea.
Thought that might happen. Escapes just in time.
Well, here we go. The round we've all been waiting for. The big one. Number 3. The rifles will be deployed. No AWPs in sights, just the M4s there. No kits, but they do have smokes, HEs, no flashbangs. Makes it very difficult to justify an aggressive push, really. Need that flashbang to buy you a few seconds to push the choke point itself. And the smokes are going in very, very quickly here. This looks like a full commitment. And they've got 2 smokes remaining, actually 3, so maybe not. Just trying to bait out some utility, perhaps, as they head towards Ivy. 3 players there. Valder, one of the key fraggers in this Danish derby. We'll see if we can come out on top. It's actually up to Cajun to defend. Smoke down for now to find some space, but a little bit of damage inflicted. Will fall back to more defensive position, but Yugi's coming in for the backup. Takes Gade down to 4, receives damage himself. No frags just yet.
All the T's moving away from Ivy. Is Cajun swapping places with Valde? Looks like he is. So he'll focus there with the Galil, and the rest will move elsewhere. The bomb appears to be around that main position at the moment. And all the players are huddled up. Maybe looking to trade in case CT has taken a forward position in main. We reached a 45-second mark. Alert smoke in Ivy. He's got a nice angle. Spot one player at the very least, and an aggressive play from Config. That's good map control here for Optic. So there's a lot in their favour now. Of course, they've got the 2-man advantage as well, soon to be 1. Config's got a great angle for a second kill. Again, nobody in pop, hiding by E-Box. 27 seconds now. There's time pressure, almost walking to their doom here north. There's a pop flash for Kirby. So they know where both players are. Now there goes Gade, and Kirby's in a 1 versus 4. Only the 1 kill in that round for North. Not a great start.
Well, there it is. Optic will bounce back. North, though, remember, that's one of those rounds where they'll not necessarily be fully equipped. This could be very similar, though, because the scout's coming out for Cadian. The sniper, of course, of North. Vard will be just on a deagle, but they've got 3 AKs. Damn, they've got no utility. That's really not ideal for a map like Train, is it?
Yeah, it's definitely quite an issue. I mean, perhaps
Rush outside, boys.
Get some space for those 2 smokes and just try to capitalize on the chaos. A couple well-played flash bangs go a long way, but it's definitely the counter grenade should be able to deal with any of that. So this is a bleak outlook here, especially now that Config just works E-Box like an absolute pro. Triple from him. Still though, the damage has been done by North. They are doing a surprisingly good job here. 2 versus 2 for them. That's
a great job by Config. Surprising it's still a 2-on-2. A flurry of frags exchanged. Optic though will have Snappy on 30 HP. Gade slightly above that. As they start to potentially head towards inside. Cadian has called it's probably clear, but the bomb is not there. So does he go all the way around towards CD spawn? I love this. They've got a minute to work with. This could actually be super sick. Not only has he delivered a kill, so probably changes the fact he might have gone spawn, but now Nico is in a really compromised position. He's got all the utility required, but now such little information. Has Cadian gone towards spawn? Are they planting inside? It doesn't matter. Cadian plays that perfectly. Took a risk. An educated guess that inside would be open, but he gets the frag, doesn't have to go any further, and finds the second kill for Config. He did not deserve to lose this round, I'm afraid. 3 kills. How much more can he do, really, as it falls apart for Optic? That is going to be a bit of a reset. We'll see how detrimental it is as we get into this round, quite as they are full eco.
Brutal loss after that effort from Config. Back on the lowly pistols. I'm really tempted to enable a revolver, I won't lie. I just want to have some fun. I'm stuck in the lower levels on FACEIT for the time being anyway, so might as well.
I actually played some CS last night, got 5 games in. I'm getting my powers back very slowly.
Nice,
wasn't completely diabolical, which was good. We'll see.
So you guys winning, getting the W's in.
Yeah, there was I'm so the thing is it's not so much the aim for me. It's just my brain can't act quickly anymore. Like in the clutch situations, I start losing track of everything that's going on. Because I haven't played in so long, I haven't really trained that part of my brain. So I get a bit
you have to actively think about it rather than it just being subconscious.
So I need to play a lot more before I get that back. But it was fun. Maybe some more tonight. Either way, Optic will have the AWP out, and we'll see UMPs on Cave and B. No kits again. This has been a struggle, a war of attrition for both sides, and Optic looking to bounce back here. 4-1 down. That's significant on the CT side of Train.
Begins, Cajun spots it. He has the very hard job of trying to keep information, trying to slow down the T's, but at the same time not dying. It's very difficult to do. And he will smoke it off though and be successful in that sense. But North will create a lot of space there. And as far as KGB is aware, it could be 1 player behind that smoke or 3. And so it's always quite tricky. He's got to keep his attention on it whilst the T's will rotate now that they've pulled more players further away from the front. But Config is still out there.
One minute mark passes. Clock ticks for North. Pretty late in the day for the shoulder peak here. So Nico will get some good mileage out of this utility. The flashbang, though, is absolutely perfect. And that's an open bomb site. Is it a save already? Well, Config's retaining. That second kill is going to change things, surely. Surely they consider this. They don't have a kit, however. That's a massive problem for them. Snappy moving up the ladder quietly. Maybe having shown presence elsewhere, Optic will send the numbers in this direction. Cadian's missed a shot, and he's not going to get many opportunities for another one. The trade is there, and now we've got the 3 versus 2. Easy frag for Kiabi, and I do wonder now. He's not expecting another player to come from here, but he's missed his chance. Runs out of bullets, I think, as well. And Yugi's got to go back. He's got to fall back. He may not be able to. That is a crucial miss.
Yeah.
Against one of those situations where maybe, I don't know if they were considering saving, but when Config gets 2 kills in that position from the upper area, it's on.
Config, 8 kills. He keeps fragging, but they can't convert it. KGB down the lower ramp. It was a tricky kill. Lovely movement from Kiabi to stay alive, but still, he felt like Cajun should have picked that up, and maybe they had a chance to close the round out. But Kiabi, great shots. Like I said, good movement. And we get into round number 7, another eco. On the CT-sided train, arguably one of the most CT-sided maps we have, just beneath Nuke, I would say. This is worrying, to say the very least, for Optic, but still quite early days. But Cadian looks like he might have just guaranteed the round there and then, if not Kiabi.
That'd be a nice position there. They won't spot him out just yet. Gets a cheeky frag, it's just good for some money, but not much else so far. North running over Optic at the moment. On train. I'm trying to think what the most fun derby matches, like maps are. Probably the more open ones like Cash and Dust 2 and so on. Can be the craziest.
They can be. Dust 2 is the craziest, I think.
Yeah.
Cash is not as mad as it used to be. Seems a lot of teams like are quite methodical on that map now. But I just love the chaos that ensues on Dust 2 every time.
Yeah.
There we go. Yugi and Snappy do recover an AK. That's actually not too bad. That works out. 6-1 though, that really is quite diabolical. I think maybe a double up setup is required. And when things get desperate, that's normally the stance people will go to. You got plenty of options in the Optic machine to go for it. They actually don't, even after picking up the AK. They could have definitely brought out 2 AWPs, but just a single, and it'll be Yugi versus Cadian. Yugi again, slow into this game, 1 and 6. See if he can step up here. Can't find the initial. Oh my, okay, all right, double kill. But to say, looked like he'd missed his opportunity, but they line up for him, and that's a 5-on-3. Surely they convert this round.
Week of the multi-kill, it seems.
Yes, indeed.
And there's plenty more CS to come, although it is Sunday.
Super Sunday.
Super Sunday, excuse me. AZ, Valde and Gade remain. The bomb is in an exposed position. And Yugi's got some elevated angles on it now. Very elevated. First I thought maybe he had been boosted on connector, but no. He appears to be in heaven. Oh, that's a big entry from AZ. The smoke will help rescue the bomb. It's a longer rotation though. Some challenges around the IV position, and the CTs will retain possession of that angle. So AZ needs to press on and find a second player in B if he can.
It's exactly the sort of play Cadian was making before, but Config has shut the round down. Okay, I mean, as long as he gets that kill, he definitely has, but there was a chance that could have fallen apart. So with the bomb there in that position, 3 versus 1, there's no way AZ can really get close to winning the round, but maybe he can find a kill or 2 just to keep them relatively modest. We'll see. There should be no way he gets near that bomb. He can jump up to the ledge from here on the steps, but he's going to challenge straight towards the break room. Player spotted him, but it's such an awkward angle. Still hits the shot. Now maybe he has got a chance to nick that bomb and fall away. He could go down Pop Dog now. Oh my goodness, this shouldn't be happening. CT towards connector. AZ has a free plant. This is on. This could happen.
AZ, how have you found yourself here? Well, unfortunately, it will be short-lived, but it was a great effort. Again, what was it? 5 versus 3.
Yes.
2-way, 1 versus 2 with the bomb down. That's really... That hurts for Optic. You know, they needed this one to be closed out cleanly. They don't have that much bank here.
Config can only do so much. He's finding all the kills needed, and these rounds are still getting uncomfortable. There it is. The double AWP setup will come in for the CT side, though. Those will be Yugi and Config to wield those. Here's the double kill. So you get a double kill. It still is quite a difficult round to close out. If Config missed his kill, it could have fallen apart quite quickly, but great positioning from him and a good finish as well. Didn't panic when they lost the bomb. But money's still there. And another buy really for North. So one more round will do it for Optic to start their streak. Can't afford the reset here. Everyone's fully invested.
Early molly, no fast plays from North. How do these two teams deal with adversity? That is a question for the 2 matches to come. Well, this match and a match to come.
Yeah.
And more than that for Optic.
Lots of Optic maps today. Every game will feature them.
Config's footsteps will be heard. Oh, that's just an easy frag for him. Absolutely baited his Gade. At a solid disadvantage going through the smoke. But they feel they've got to gamble. Running out, being exposed to multiple players. It's really not going well this round for North. Nice burst from Cajun B, and that's 3 frags. And only Config has been taken in return.
Absolutely true.
There's so much time on the clock as well for the push through the smoke in main. It's such a gamble. If they take you out, you can't be traded. Not a good start for them.
Yeah, it might be the end as well, because 4-on-2, 35 seconds, and this would just be a formality going for. I don't think they'll get close, but we'll see. Up to Nico, who gives up a little space. There could be a chance. Snappy misses a shot too. This actually gets quite interesting all of a sudden. And look like they're in perfect positions to close it out, but some missed shots have allowed the bomb to be planted at least. There is one flashbang remaining for the T's that's been deployed, and now it's just down to the pure fragging. No one coming from behind, no one towards the Brown Halls or Pop Dog area, so it's all going to be heads-up duels towards the bomb train itself. If the bomb ticks away, speculative shots through the smoke. Valda knows he has to get at least one kill here. Can't just sit back and wait for the bomb to be touched. That's excellent work by North. All of a sudden, it's a 2 versus 1. This is a 4-on-2 round. Yugi surely won't hit the shot, but he does. He delivers the kill, but it won't be enough. Optic will have to give it up, and their money is absolutely ruined. They're going to have to force buy around this AWP. That shouldn't have been working out for North. It looked like in the 4-on-2, they should have been taken down. There should have been at least one kill. Defensive positions required just to deny the bomb. That's all that was needed from Optic. And Cadian hits the shot, the all-important one, the entry down the lower ramp. Nico couldn't hold him off. This is the one. And as soon as he goes down, all bets are off, because Valda can get a position, and a 4-on-2 quickly becomes a 2-on-1, and they'll have to force buy SMGs and pistols here.
North look really good at the moment, don't they? To be able to pull stuff like that off. And
this is more Optic giving up their advantages, right? They're doing very well at the start, but they can't hold on to them. They've had plenty of 4-on-2s now that is falling apart for them.
We did say we would see some weird rounds.
Yes, that's true.
And that is certainly one of them. Smart play by Cadian, just knowing the common angles. Picks the right one. Now we have grenades streaming into the A-bomb site. Will there be a commitment behind it? Mixed bag from Optic. The AWP, Yugi saved, and some pots and pans to fight with. Taken down through the corner of the smoke. H&B is close, but how many frags can he really get from this position? Trying to punish the reload, but he can't get through the smoke in time. He was too far back.
Oh dear. Another eco required. Not really much done with that force buy whatsoever. Around the AWP, they tried their best to make it work, but nothing really delivered that. 8-2. Optic have to full eco. This is not ideal. This is actually the worst it could possibly be going for them, considering on the CT side just been reset as well. You've got no rounds. You're finding frags. You're losing big advantages. That's when the bickering starts, when you feel like you should be winning this game. It's not just the fact that it's owning you across the board. You should be converting the advantages you have.
Yeah, and despite some of those advantages, Nico actually hasn't been a frag yet. He's still on 0 kills, poor guy.
Yeah, well, what did you say, sorry?
He just got his first one.
That always happens. As soon as you're like, well, I'm going to make this. I'll wait, I'll say it now. As soon as you say it gets the kill.
Nice. Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
Apart from Optic.
Optic are not winning, I guess.
Yeah,
but
they're not winning.
Everyone except Optic.
And he's the inside player. I normally call him out as like being one of the best inside solo anchors. 1 in 10 does not suggest that right now. But difficult game for Optic. He needs to play a little bit more casually, perhaps, a bit more defensively, instead of trying to go for the duels each time. He's not winning them. Why is KRB? Oh, to be fair, I was about to say, why is only MP5? They've got 4 players without helmets. So that actually is quite a sick weapon, actually, with the running gun potential of it. That actually will do a lot of damage close range. Also,
being able to spam through those smokes without consequences, really nice in some spots.
Sure.
And that silencer allows you to do that. Optic don't have much counter utility in this round as well. So they are struggling in many different ways. And the beauty of Counter-Strike though is that you can always get back into the game. Until one team has 16 rounds, it's not over. And so for Optic, maybe this round can be where they turn it around. Yugi on that AWP is going to be coming through connector, but North actually take the high route here first with 3 players. That's such a fast frag. AC's been doing wonderfully well so far, and Gade will follow up, and this looks like a save, to be honest, for Optic.
No more saving, boys. We've got to go for these rounds. You got to.
That's a key kill for their attempts, but well, it doesn't look like... Now it looks like they're running back, but so much time has already gone on the bomb. There's sort of too much indecision there. There's no kits on any of the players alive as well, so at this point it's over. It's just about surviving. Ooh, it's definitely hard times here for Optic. Sometimes, you know, like the domestic matchups can be interesting because sometimes you can see the craziness, but some teams have complete mental blocks against others as well.
Yeah, I think there is a big psychological aspect to it. Just like knowing, like, oh, I used to play with that guy. Like, oh, they know how I play this position, sort of thing. So I need to change things up. They know exactly what I do. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though every team objectively could know how you play and watch your demos, you just feel like there's something else going on there. Like, you play with them, like, externally, perhaps for fun. They see your positions, they see what you do. You overthink it a bit too much, and 10-2 down. This game, unfortunately, feels like it might be over already. And that's if North don't pick up any more rounds. Like a 10-5 would be a bit of a death sentence. But here we go, fighting back. They got the first kill once again, but that doesn't last for long. AZ looking incredibly sharp today. Will continue to find frags. He's actually on the bomb train already. Luckily for Optic, they're finding some kills now. Another 4-on-2. Surely this one's converted. Not if Cadian has anything to say about it, though. This scout doing fantastic work. That's 2 kills for her now. And Kiabi with 4 HP. Surely this is a round for Optic.
The nade damage from Optic at the start of the round, that really helps. That's a good shot. I think it must have, the early nade damage must have been in the region of 200 to 300 damage across the 5 players. You can see right there, that's all nade damage. Crazy. So the interesting thing is that if North go for that again, but just delay the rush timing so they don't get caught by all the grenades, I'd be curious to see how it would go the second time around.
It's lovely HE grenades sailing towards the main position. Yugi will get very aggressive. That's what the Molotov's for. Having a look anyway. We'll take 25 damage. Would be worth it if he got a kill. Don't know how much he saw on the radar. I think he may have seen... I don't know if he's sort of player on a higher level, but you'll expect someone to be in their pop dog, so no surprises there.
Indeed. Well, another default here from North, a little bit slower paced. There is presence towards IV from both teams here. Kiabi potentially boosting Vada towards server. Not going to be the case by the looks of things. There's Cajun B defending that with the M4. He's got no utility now. Outside execution potential, but the bomb's there as well. Could go inner still, I guess. But with 2 players towards Ivy, I highly doubt it. The outside play. Smokes down. Ivy starts to push towards the end of the choke point. Good flashbang. Convict somehow negates it, though, and stays alive for now, but not for long. Gade with 2 kills. Excellent work from the rookie.
Ooh. Not expecting to be shot from that angle. Now, there are plenty of issues here. Ooh. Well, that will be a very violent round. Gade with 2 kills, the only man taking any damage in that round for North. Yeah. So it's looking quite successful for them.
And once again, they can't string rounds together. Gade will get the double kill at the start. Kiabi will close things out. And we're going to find ourselves in a very compromised position for Optic. They've got 1 rifle, 2 pistols, a UMP, and a scout for Yugi. Nico's on 3 and 12. Yugi 5 kills on one of his home maps. But Nico, this could be better for him. He's going to sit in the smoke. Oh my god. He takes a lot of damage, and even more so. That's the 1 rifle removes.
The grenade colliding with him gives his position away. Takes the entire element of surprise away. And he's at a point of no return. Such a narrow choke point. There's not much he can really do from that position, so that really sucks for him, and it sucks for Optic because it looks like they're only taking 3 rounds out of this half.
Hello. Well, that's round. That is done, and that's 12 on the T side of Train. It couldn't really go any worse for you if you're Optic right now. That's a horror show moment, and these are all for pride at this point. But 12-3, as we know from online Counter-Strike, that is not signed, sealed, and delivered. That means it's all up for grabs. 12-3 can be converted.
That's exactly what it means.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the weird thing, I think there is that Optic just struggled really badly on a lot of the individual duels as well. That was a really big problem. And, a pretty reliable approach from Optic, just to go for a delayed walk outside and just shoot their way to success. So North, or rather Optic need to find a way to win this pistol and start winning some fights, take the initiative back, and get some confidence going. Someone, like 1 or 2 players, needs to have some hype moments, bring up the team's morale. And they're going to go for an A play. Got some smokes ready to be deployed by Nico and Snappy. There they go. Can they do it?
In stream, the Optic players, Cadian with a great angle. That silence USP is going to be a problem.
Oh my god.
They find out where he is and it's too late. 3 kills for Cadian, and this is an absolute wipeout. 4 players. The only person who takes damage is Cadian. 4 players get the cheap helmet as well. That is saving them a good $650.
What the hell?
It's not bad going, is it?
Do you remember when I said earlier that the beautiful thing about Counter-Strike is that it's never over? Well, I think it's over.
Well, they'll force buy here in the second. I almost oh, they don't. They're going to allow to go 14-3. I thought they'd just go for the Eagles here. But that's another round of the board of just Glock, no armor. Oh my god. Well, I would give question of the day for you right now, but we don't have one just yet. I'm thinking of it still. So for now, we'll experience the Glock's no armor effect on Train. Will any kills be found? Doesn't look like it. At least it's quick. Get it over with. No messing around.
Right, we're 14-3, and Optic yet to really show themselves here on Train. They're going to have if they're going to bring this back in any sense, it has to start now in this round. So let's see what they got. Last chance to loot. What is the plan? AZ's feeling bit eager, going in with the MP9.
These rounds are always so difficult for the CT side, especially when you go in with MP9s. For Masses, knowing they've got a full AK buy. Try to go aggressive, see if you can steal a kill away. Didn't work out. It's a 5-on-4 advantage for Optic. Just waiting for any sort of reaction to this one. Bait out a utility. Try and show a little bit of presence. Hold it up together. Trade out kills if they come your way. So far, so good, but they gave up so many advantages in the first half. Is this one going to be theirs?
Still plenty of time for them to dry out these North players. Take some more grenades away. And off we go. The grenades deployed into the site. Gabe's position will be very, very important. Kiabi is blind, and the problems compound for Optic. No responses just yet. Cadian spotted. No frag for him just yet. No frag at all. Now, what is the money going to be like for the CT side? They can buy for the most part. So it's better than a CT round you normally see in this situation. When the pistol loses the 3rd round.
Sure.
Normally it means, well actually I was going to say normally it means eco, it isn't eco.
Yeah, it is eco, but like with this huge buffer of rounds, right, you might as well wait.
Yeah.
Wait till you can get double orbs next round. You could even buy this round and be okay. So this is cool. They just play it sensibly. Let's close out this game effectively instead of stretching ourselves thin. They might just find another kill here. Oh god, what's happening? Not another one, surely. Config. You got to pick this one up. The bomb will be planted inside. I still believe they'll win the round. And indeed, Optic might confirm that with Config here. And indeed, well, nice work. Bit scary with the kills. But this will be an AWP setup now, maybe even double AWPs for North if they're that way inclined. No, they will not be. It's going to be Cadian, but a nice healthy purchase here. All the rifles. A kit at the end from Kiabi, so they've got at least one. And here we go. Will North closes out early.
Chunks gone from Config. And Optic will slow it down. Slowing it down a lot, actually. I like that we're seeing the 4-1 setup from North. It's going to work out well. It allows them to have an extra player in the forward positions. Gade wins the 1v1. That's a pretty important one, because if Optic want to go towards A, they'll have to likely clear Pop Dog. Well, there you go. Nico, he's got the answer. He's got the solution. Let's just bust down, kick down the door of the B-bomb site. At the same time, Optic are creeping in towards A, it would look like. This is getting a bit weird.
Oh, that's super sick from Kiabi, though. Cajun B, I think, assumed he's already checked that position. He spotted the foot. The little booty was spotted. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh! I thought for sure he spotted in there. This is looking so good for Optic. Another guaranteed kill for Nico. 3-on-1.
Well, the AWPs will be coming eventually for North, and maybe that will make the difference. Indeed, Gade is 3-on-1. The bomb heading towards the B bomb site as Nico's done the clearing. There is a flank potential, but I suppose he wants to save. So he'll be moving towards Cajun B instead. So many angles on train. So many little situations, little windows where things could have gone in one person's favor or another, as evidenced by Ivy.
Hello.
So number 6 on the board for Optic. Maybe they can have a similar run to North on their T side. Problem is their margin for error is so much smaller.
Indeed. Lost the pistol. They're in the game 14-6 now. Got to respect that. Lost bonus done to accumulate the CETs, but not in a position where they can really do much with just a saved AK. Maybe some P250s. They'll get $2,400 per player now. So $2,900 next after losing this one. That's it. They might be able to win it. You never know. Cadian, after finding the man advantage, pushed towards upper ramp and gave this access to Nico, who's been having a very quiet game so far, but now racking up the kills. His first half contribution was little to non-existent, but this is much better on the T side. If he can save it and pull his game around, then fair play. Like I said, there's a couple of P250s, no armor, no real investment into the round apart from Cadian getting some basic utility with his USP. Gade will hold towards inner, and that's where he will be holding the AK. He's got a chance to do some damage here. First kill for him. They need to be extremely careful here. If he gets a second, this could fall apart. He doesn't quite, but he does the damage to a few. Round still looks safe for now.
Yeah, they got this. What's the damage? And he's Danes. Got some aim. Danes with aim. So North will concede another round.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You okay there?
You're making me laugh, Dan. Sorry.
Oh.
It's the posture. I'm too big for such a chair low
I'll
to
tell
the
you what,
ground.
you need
squeezes everything.
you need to get some orange FACEIT cushions, put them behind. It'll make it look cool, be nice color contrast, and it'll help you sit up straight.
Maybe I use the multicolored poop.
There you go, yeah, give that a go. That might help you.
The posture is making me cough. It's like if I was in a higher chair, the asthma wouldn't be so bad. I don't understand how that even is a thing, but it is.
Well, Optic 7 rounds away from tying up with North. Maybe, just maybe, they can make it work. It's down to, I mean, this is the thing, is that in Counter-Strike, sometimes it gets weird to see one team absolutely crush it on the first half, and then they sort of start to dwindle away on the second half. Maybe, I mean, this could be a similar story, maybe. We'll have to see.
We will.
Caden with the AWP, searching. Has he got the superior angle for Yugi? They're so good with the flashbangs around that main position. It's really taking players out early. Any angle they've been holding towards main, they've been flashed off, and Cajun B's out. Getting more frags, config spotting players around the train, but no frag for him. AZ trying to hold on, 2 versus 4, footsteps for Valde. Can he get a multi-frag in this situation? He can't. The trades are there, AZ will do his best, but it won't happen.
My goodness, we've got a game on our hands.
The area around main, if you've got a CT around E-box, even closer, in the middle trains, they're always getting flashed and then taken out, this time by a Molotov. So that is proving to be an issue. I think it was an issue in the first half as well.
Sure.
Quickly, Optic only 6 rounds away.
On the T side, up against another Eco as well, so presumably just 5 rounds away. We'll see. Because North take a tactical timeout just to kind of release some of the pressure, slow down the momentum. See if they can stabilize here. Getting a little bit out of control for Optic, looking up and about. 1 round away. Oh, they are maximum loss banners. Take it back. They actually are good to go next round. I think we'll see the double AWP set up from North going forward. We'll see though. Not really a team uses it too often, but definitely got the potential to do so. It's normally AZ, I believe, with KD, and they'll pick up the secondary AWP. bell being rung for some reason, over and over again.
Here comes Optic. Out with the Deagle. Ooh, I thought he was going to get 1 or 2 there, but no. So far, not so good. So looking quite clean for Optic. Save round over with, pretty much. Okay, Katie, let's get it over with. I'm really curious about that next buy round that they have. So Optic are making it work at the moment. See if he can steal a weapon away. Ooh, footsteps. The sounds of a victim, perhaps. Oh, anticlimactic.
Again, something for people to notice at home. Nico's jumping, bouncing off the ceiling, so if anyone's holding a headshot angle, he can avoid being headshot there. Maybe he takes a bullet to the chest, but better than to the face. Very old tactic. Came from your day, didn't it? Someone mentioned that RPK used to do that, like on Cash or something.
On what, sorry?
Like coming out of a doorway like this and jumping, so he
Oh,
bounces off.
you could do it on like Dust 2 when you rush B, for example. There was little ledges, so when you rush B, bounced off the ledge as you jumped into bomb site and you rushed, so you take the aim off someone, so they couldn't just have a straight up headshot angle. Yes.
It was more of a 1.6 thing, because you had 1.6 you had a faster recovery than
yeah,
in Source. So like, let's say coming out of hut on Nuke, for example, to peak rafters in 1.6, it was a lot of people hated it because it would bug out your model as well in 1.6. Like, do you remember you could tap crouch 1.6
yeah.
and it would also mess up your
yeah,
head?
you could do that. Was Russian walking. That was quite difficult to do effectively.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. Anyway.
Russian walking.
Yeah, look it up, man. It was when you spam.
Oh, like the like the
yeah, exactly like that.
Nice.
So you spam crouch. If you time it very well, and normally on your mouse wheel you have to do it, and with your control key as well, you could make it so you walked around a little bit faster and silently, and your model would always be bobbing around and really difficult to shoot at if someone found you.
I did to Rattlesnake once and he raged really badly and just left. Just left the game.
Another day in the office.
Well, double AWP setup, like we said. AZ on the secondary AWP. Cadian on the main. And a slow round here from Optic. Only 35 seconds. They have not got much control. For a team with 30 seconds on the clock, it will have to be an outside execution here. I'm not sure this will be the best possible way to operate here, because if they lose the first couple of kills, they won't have time to recover. Flashes are very good, but they haven't seen Gage, and it's going to be a 2-1 advantage in terms of the manpower. But there it is. Nico, considering his first half performance, is looking very, very good so far. But there's flames on the bomb site. 9 seconds remaining. Is that smoke going to be okay? It will be. The bomb's down. 3 on 3.
Make it to Kiabi's been lost early. Cadian and Valde struggling to defend the sites of Train. Valde's the one with the kit. But Cadian, it looks like he's saving, and Valde will be doing the same. Oh my god. Nothing but success for Optic. Almost a mirror of the first half.
Strange things will happen in these particular matchups. I didn't think this would be the case, though.
They only need to win 1 round, at least, to tick off a worst case scenario. They won both pistol rounds as well.
Yep. Well, they had a huge lead. It's just completely evaporated now. Optic really making a convincing case they could pull this one back. This would be the reverse sweep.
Yeah, it's looking really impressive so far.
Nico stepped his game up. He was on 1 and 10, I believe, in the first half.
Yeah, he did pretty much nothing as far as fragging was concerned.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the thing. Like, I think I mentioned it earlier in the first half here. I said, you know, you need 1 or 2 players just like to get some hype play going and just boost everyone. And Nico gets that. Like, they're in actually a desperate situation where I think they lose Snappy in Pop Dog, and then Nico is just like, well, I'm just going to get 3 kills in B by myself. They win the rounds and haven't looked back since. But you would imagine that North can get a CT round, though.
I hope so.
Stopping the CTs, making their way to Pop Dog. He can communicate that Pop Dog is clear. T's can go there quickly. No need for grenades. No one focusing on it just yet, though. But AZ actually is on the way to that position. Kiabi creeping through the smoke. Down he goes as well. Optic looking good for round number 11. 5 versus 2. 1 rifle in tow for North. So nothing doing once again.
Well then, that 5-on-2 suggests that Valdo will just have to hold on to the rifle once again. Still with maximum loss bonus, but there's Valdo pulling at least 1 kill back. He'll give him an extra $300. That's if he survives, because it won't really do much for him otherwise. Let's see whether he can do it on 23 HP. Cajun be holding towards Ivy. That's where Valdo's heading. Looks like Cajun might be in store for a free kill here, depending on timings. Bomb will go off. That secures the 11th round for Optic here. And AZ trying to hold up as well towards outside. He's not going to find a rifle just yet, but heading in Cajun's direction. Hello. Oh, there it is. Round confirmed. Valdo will survive. Up there in heaven. Double up set up again, perhaps. We'll see. Told you, Dan. 12-3. All the rounds still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even on the CT side, 3 rounds is enough.
It's crazy.
It doesn't make any sense.
I guess I have to go back to that original statement where I was like, the beautiful thing about Counter-Strike is that it doesn't matter the situation.
Yeah.
You can always bring it back until it's 16 for someone, and Optic have been really taking that seriously as they grinding this one out, and they're almost there. They're almost there. But this is a big buy round for North. They've got some really big forward presence here, trying to take the action straight to Optic, and it's going to work out lovely. I mean, you've got config down. Here's the follow-up onto Yugi, and 2 kills and forward map control.
Oh.
Now, the Optic have to go through this smoke. There's no alternative at this point. They've lost too much ground, and Cajun be lurking alley. Maybe they can still put something together.
Valdo spots them. Luckily, he didn't go down there. 5 versus 3, but they're going to make a plan. That was a quick reaction there. Cajun B could actually save the round, though. I say that he hasn't reacted to that at all.
It's like his mouse is not working.
Yeah, like something was going on. I wasn't surprised we heard a tap with the chats.
That was not normal at all. Well, could just be the round. Nico creating some space. Could be susceptible to spray, however, but he is buying time for his side. There's only 1 hit on these 4 players, and that was on Valde, so someone's got to pick that up. That has to be collected. They've got to communicate that, and I don't think they have. We've got players going for a 10-second defuse now. The smokes are up, and it seems they'll do it the hard way. Finally, North have won the round, and they go to match point.
But what happened to... Was it Cajun? It's Cajun, right?
Yeah.
Cajun, yes. I don't know, it looked like maybe he didn't quite see him, he didn't register, he was so focused on the closer track. I'm not sure whether we'll see it in that POV, I doubt it, but... oh, we did. So yeah, just didn't react to that at all, just like froze up.
Well, he flicked to him, and then just didn't click.
Yeah.
Right?
It looked like maybe his mouse disconnected. I don't know if his wireless mouse ran out of battery or something.
What a time that would be to run out of battery.
It just stopped. It just stopped dead, and there was no click. And yeah, but he wasn't moving with the keyboard either. That's why I don't know. Very strange. But here we are. Both teams on the bye. Can Optic get back to winning ways? If they could win this round, then maybe the rest would be a doddle, a lot easier. We've seen many matches, one with Pistol, CZ's terrible buys. As we can see, Gade is playing anti-flash, is hiding in the corner. Config will walk away for now. No sound cues given. Will they get curious, North? Never know what's around the corner.
Four in a row required. Nico already tagged up. Kiabi patrolling Ivy from Green Train here. Very methodical default coming through. Optic start to head towards the brown halls. Kiabi, not the greatest smoke there at Ivy. That actually won't do much for him at all. Actually invites the terrorists to come out. They'll think that's a mistake being made and he won't realise, which is absolutely the case.
So it's the upper play coming in from Optic, perhaps. Cajun B's been lurking alley, ready to go for a while as well, so perhaps he'll start to make a move now that Cadian's gone down. Good opening. How much can Valde do? There's one. Getting shot from above as well. Doesn't have time to turn and respond to that. So a 3 versus 4 retake opportunity, but Cajun B hasn't moved to muscle, just staying in the lurk position as his teammates are doing so well, covering for the save retreat. And he does get one player out of it, so that's not bad. It's
a reset, but there's been so much money developed from North that if they save the 2 AKs, there might even be another buy there.
Should we do the math?
Okay, so they'll get 1,400 on top of what they have right now. So they'll be able to both Gade and AZ can drop M4s quite comfortably.
Yep.
And that means they'll have 4 rifles. They'll probably have a scout on top of that, I'd imagine. And that works. So you have 4 rifles and a scout. That's enough to win a round. Or you don't do that and you get CZs instead, and you try and play for 2, you see 2 CZs and 2 AKs.
You could get an M4 and Kevlar, but no helmets.
Let's see what they decide to do, though. Well, you can speculate all we like, but the proof is in the pudding. So yeah, they both drop M4s. And Cadian presumably gets a scout? No, okay. Thought he'd go scout, to be honest. So I was half right down, almost got there.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad overall. It's just Cadian lacking utility. That's basically it. Everyone has kits apart from him too. So 4 kits, that's always nice. Cadian will be aggressive as well, which is again fine. He has no utility, so he loses less if he's the first one to die. Hey, look at this base setup here. Nico taking down Cadian, perhaps expecting that setup, but still, the 1-for-1 trade, it doesn't really play off too poorly for North.
It's still not great, considering a map like Train means that one area is going to be spread thin. In this example, it will be inside. But Gade's got a good position to handle that, but he does get Molotov'd out. He had to fall back there, so he's been compromised somewhat. Loses his smoke after that interaction. I'd give Optic a slight advantage still.
Four on 4. You see players moving from Ivy. That will run distraction for a time, and Valde manages to get a kill, unable to respond, but Kelby's being picked off elsewhere. So just when you thought it was safe for North to maybe win the match, it's down to a 3-on-3, and there's plenty of time for Optic. What is going to happen next? AZ on the high ground, player spotted up the ladder. Can AZ capitalize on that? Has AZ appeared on the radar? Down he goes. Spray is laboured, but he gets there. Got info of where one of the players is. And now there is time pressure. They don't know where Gade is. They've got to cross. There was a quick check, but I don't believe he was spotted. He's heard the footsteps. He surely goes down for free. Now there are 14 seconds to plant the bomb. A fast rotation to be.
Got time to plant as well. We're close, but it's absolutely fine. In the open, that's looking like a guaranteed round for Snappy. In terms of the positioning he can get, but Gade spots him. I don't think he'll be aware of that. There's an HE there. If Gade just HEs it, he's won. Use the HE. Use it, sir. Done. There we go. Touchdown.
Rip.
GG.
That's so sick he spotted him. I thought like they had that locked in, but just had the small nuances of Counter-Strike are so cool. Just like spinning that 1 pixel as he fades away, and he didn't realize. And the fact he had an HE as well, that was securing the round for me. Well played, great game, and fair play to Optic for bringing it back. That sets up the second map in a really exciting manner, because it was looking like a very one-sided affair. Remember, that was a 12-3 T-side for North, and still, Optic come back and make it a very exciting, intense game towards the end. Shout out to Nico as well, he turned his game around. He was absolutely out of it in the first half, managed to look very, very impressive. And North, they were tested there. They were sweating towards the end. That was not a comfortable close. That came down to a 1v1 clutch that could have gone either way after losing so many influential rounds. They actually won both pistols and had a 12-3 start, and still it was uncomfortable for them. So I still feel like Optic can post some rounds, or points I should say, on the leaderboard today, and this Danish derby seems to be just warming up right now. Nico, this is him in the second half, getting it done, finding the rounds, finding the frags, left, right and centre. Fair play to Gade as well. I feel like he was one of the better players for North, as he had assertive gameplay, was constantly pushing, and obviously closed things out as well. Like I said, I feel like he's a player playing years above his experience he's had so far in professional CS. Here are the scores on the doors, though. Kiabi and Valde posting big numbers, 24 kills apiece. Gade with 21. And you can see Config that he had such a great game. Even when they were getting battered in the first half, he was finding multiple kills time and time again. They weren't exit frags or save frags or anything like that. He was actually trying to win the round single-handedly. His teammates couldn't close them out. and it will be quite a close game in the end, but maybe not the most exciting.
I feel like the way that went, I feel like if Optic started on the T sides, they would have won the match.
I think that's fair enough. That's weird to say, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
Normally you say we have to start the CT side to set ourselves a goal and know what we've got to do, but yes, maybe in this instance you're right. That's
Yeah,
kind of
so
weird.
lost in the knife round.
Yeah.
the way it went, unfortunately.
Well, that's it. That's such an anomaly. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see many games where you'll see that one side of the affairs on the T side, especially. Maybe it's just the CT playing too tentative and not playing their usual flair, trying to play not to lose instead of to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But either way, it's going to be Inferno next, guys, and that's going to be exciting if that game's anything to go by. So we'll be back after this break. Come back and check it out in a few minutes.